hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. I've been in hibernation for the best part of 2 months, but the slick, lean, mean, scouse, trash talking machine is most certainly back on YouTube and it's beautiful. It's a really good thing. I'm not going to go and do a big long 2-minute thing on why I'm back and how I'm back and what's brought me back, but I'm back. And it's done by design. I'm back after the victory, which is great. In fact, no, it's not. It was planning on coming back to YouTube for the longest time. Things got delayed. Turkish messaged me about the Big Six show, so I wanted to jump on the Big Six as always. It's always good to fill in for the absolute legend that is Grizz. And yeah, it was basically the intention was to go on the show and be as thought-provoking and as annoying as possible. And I feel like I achieved that goal because a lot of people left that show rattled. Anyway, we're back. Liverpool are winning 6-1, and even though we're mid-table, we're still on the topic of everyone's mouths. Do you know what I love? How every single football club has got a victim mentality. It's the one thing I really enjoy about football. It's like, oh yeah, you always talk about our team and we rattle you. It's such a beautiful culture that all of our teams have in common. But yeah, only a short video, a short Redmond Roundup to discuss a few of the things that have gone on in recent time, and I intend to bring these more often, but we'll see how life goes. Let's start off with the Jude... do you know what? Let's start off with Liverpool 6-1. Jude Bellingham news was one that I feel like I wanted to talk about from when it came out, but obviously I weren't posting. But we can't just skip over a 6-1 win. Let's start off with Trent Alexander-Arnold, as I believe he's the biggest topic so far, because the game itself, Leeds United didn't play too great. They left a lot of spaces in behind. I actually thought Toby from the Big Six made a lot of great points. I thought that it was a very easy game for Liverpool. We maximised the efficiency of the chances, but it doesn't mean that the next game will proceed to be the same and we're going to get 4 or 5, or like for City. Right now, City have won like 10 games in a row. They're starting to do that thing that City do where they just win loads and loads of games, and they tend to do it in the most important time of the season when the team who is first is very much under pressure. They've done it with us plenty of times, and you know, they're winning games 3, 4, 5-0, but they can do it consistently. The difference between us and City, we might still be able to do the odd performance where we pump Man United 7-0, which was great by the way, or beat Leeds 6-1, but it doesn't matter because it's like, I don't want to be so inappropriate with the joke, but it's like letting out your load all at once. I feel like people get that analogy, if you understand what I'm saying there. And then you go on to the next 2-3 games and you show that level of inconsistency. Just can't get the chances away. And even the first half against Leeds was very, very worrying in some degrees, just with how little chances we created. But the second that we did start getting the ball in the back of the net around the 34th, 35th minute, it was a beautiful spectacle of football and splendour in the name of Rory Jennings. So I want to talk about Trent as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been a big topic of conversation about his position in the game, playing as an inverted fullback, and now people are talking about how we need a right back because Trent is now going to be getting moved to midfield. Now let's just hold your high horses. James Redmond is back to bring a little bit of peace on earth and a little bit of, just being able to identify what this is. Trent has played that role before, and he is going to continue to start on the team sheet as the right back. Does that mean in the game you make a little system change where he goes a little bit more central? No. And as we saw, it was really, really good. And I made up that Klopp made it more of a theme, putting him in that DM centre mid role, still kind of playing him out on the right, the inverted role, as I said before. And I feel like this is a good chance now for Trent to be able to build momentum in this team playing that role. Now, I'll be honest, I think it took a minute for Trent to get into the game. I thought he was a bit wasteful with a lot of his passes, but the second that he did get into the game, that is when you recognise just how good of a footballer he is. He's a great passer, he's got a great eye for the ball. Darwin Núñez, how may I assist you? And then the rest is history. He's got so many iconic assists, and I do think the one to Darwin Núñez can be added onto that list. It's just, he's got that many where people won't even remember it. So a great performance from Trent, but I would not put too much emphasis on the idea of him playing right back, or not playing right back, or we need a new right back because Trent is now going to be playing midfield. That's not going to happen. You've seen this season we've had the worst injury crisis that we've had ever in midfield. Thiago's been out. We've been playing the likes of Harvey Elliott, who's 19 years of age. Imagine that. The quadruple chasing Reds are now starting a 19-year-old in midfield. That isn't Jude Bellingham, which we're going to talk about in a sec. It just shows that Klopp is very happy with Trent playing his specific role, whereas a lot of people believe Trent has just got to defend, he's got to defend. When we were winning leagues and Champions Leagues and we were getting 90 plus points every season, Trent obviously defended to a degree, but he also had the midfield to track back when he went so far forward. It took him a little bit of a while, and then Trent's job weren't as much to do the one-on-one defending, whereas now he's getting put in those positions a lot more. That's not a Trent problem, that is the midfield problem. That is a midfield problem because the likes of Henderson don't drop back. Fabinho, we know, has been like a standing statue at times, although I do believe he's been better recently. But anyway, that was the result, and it was a great result, and now it's just about building momentum in this final part of the season, showing that urgency, reinforcing the standards, and seeing if we can make some miraculous comeback for top four. The only way we do that, I believe, is if we win every single game. If we win every single game, now, there's one thing possibly winning every single game, and then there's one thing actually doing that. That being said, I believe if we do that, then that's where top four is a possibility. But I do believe United are going to secure it. I do believe Tottenham are probably going to do something. Newcastle, one of those teams, and I don't see us being one of those teams that fit in that mould. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Jude Bellingham, for those who don't know, it's pretty much confirmed now he's not joining the football club. As you do know, I entertained the idea from a perspective of talking about it. There was a couple of videos where I said, maybe this could happen, but there's still 6 months away. And that's what I said at the time. It was about December, January, and I was like, it's about 5 to 6 months away before we even get to a conclusion. The reason why we can't say Jude Bellingham is definitively going to join is based on the sole thing that the transfer window was 6 months away. Imagine me saying to you, well, you're going to have this job in 6 months, when you've not had any confirmation, no contract signed. How do you know? How do you know I'm going to get this job in 6 months when things can change? So I was very reluctant to so far dive deep down these reports of Neil Jones, Grizz, and shout out to Grizz, and I'm sure his sources are amazing. The reason why people need to take these sources with a huge pinch of salt about a transfer rumour when it's about 6 months before the transfer can even possibly happen is because things can change. One, Liverpool have massively underperformed, which I'm sure was a factor. Two, the interest from other clubs, the money in which Jude can get from other clubs is a factor. On top of this, three, the prospect of Champions League football is only looking likely at the Cities, the Uniteds, the Real Madrids. And then just on top of this as well, the only substance we had in him leaning into Liverpool's favour was a couple of times where he chilled with Trent. And what else was it? Oh yeah, and the fact his dad wanted him to join us. I feel like his dad was talking about a previous version of us, but the second that the price was talked about and a bid was made, the money was too much, and this is where you've got to recognise your owners. Coming back to YouTube, I'm trying to put less of an emphasis on just constantly talking about the owners. I feel like you know my stance. I don't think I need to reinforce it constantly. That being said, I feel like we need to recognise what they are, and that was just one big massive PR move. The storyline, you know, football is filled with narratives, storylines, and you kind of need that from an ownership point of view. The same way the UFC needs storylines to sell, the same way that WWE needs storylines for you to invest to over the long term, for you to stay watching the product. It's very much the same with these owners. Oh, we're going through a bad patch. We've dropped off a little bit, but don't worry, we're going to get someone like Jude Bellingham. You know, it's definitely going to be Jude Bellingham and nobody else. Turns out it's not going to be Jude Bellingham. It will be somebody else. Who will that somebody else be is the big question. But yeah, the Jude Bellingham is probably the biggest embarrassment of the season when it comes to Liverpool fans, because everyone and their nan and that nan's cat was on board with the Jude Bellingham train. And there was even a slight moment that I was kind of disappointed to get on that train, because I just really did not believe it was ever going to happen. And I've been getting told by what you would consider very close people to the football club, you know, about this rumour for a long, long time, and apparently it's had legs for a long, long time. The only thing is, them legs can get chopped off, and they got chopped off swiftly by Fabrizio Romano when he tweeted out that he's not going to be joining Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool, you're killing me. You're killing me. I'm back for the rest of the season, guys. We're going to be posting wins, losses, but yeah, by design, I came back on a win because I'm a bad motherfucker. Pardon me language, I'm trying to swear less. Also, I'm coming back with a heel approach. I'm now a heel in the YouTube scene. I came back to Big Six last night. I'm sure if you read the comments, every single one hates me, and that's beautiful, because that means I'm doing my job. Yeah, there's no reason for me to try. What do you want me to do? Just come out and say we're crap every week? Let me try and make this entertaining. Jeez Louise. But thank you for everyone who tunes over from the Big Six. You're a legend. You're boss. And even if you don't like me, you're still boss. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. It's the first one in ages. I don't know how the thumbnail looks. I don't know how the video went. I know that my hair looks atrocious, but nothing changed there. And my muscles still aren't any bigger, but they're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm going to do a little training session in a bit. Last little thing, actually. Basically, I've been encouraged by a few people in church to invite people along. It's a church in town, not too far from town. So if you are interested, please do send me a message on Instagram, and I'll send you over the details about where the church is. There's a Sunday service, and again, I'll give you all the times and details. If it's something you're interested in and you want to go somewhere with an open heart and you want to leave there a little bit closer to God, then please do let me know. Send me a message and I'd love to invite you down, because the way the church have welcomed me has been brilliant. But probably a random last touch there, but one I felt was necessary to bring up. Guys, God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Smash a like if you want, and it's boss to be back. See you later.